righty, welcome in and welcome back, everybody, to Sports Prophet TV. This is the MLS Live podcast. I'm Cooper, your host. With me, as always, is my main man, Garrett. We are back for week 26, I think. MLS betting picks. Didn't have a show last week, but we'll look to keep the good times rolling. Last show was 4-1, smashed another 2-unit, 4.75 unit show. We extended our perfect 2-unit record to now 9-0-1 push. So still perfect on the multi-unit plays this season. That's pretty much carried us this year. So it's been great that those have worked out like they should and how we like them to. But yeah, MLS All-Star Day, Garrett, are you partaking?
Do what? You cut out.
I said MLS MX All-Star Game. Are you watching a little bit or what?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be on the background because it's soccer. Like, I will always put soccer on the background. Like, that's just what I like. But no, I could not care less about this game.
Is it still 0-0?
It is.
Maybe a second half over.
I don't know, man. This ref is calling a lot of fouls for an all-star game. Like,
oh man.
So yeah, this one might be a dud.
Might be a stinker. I almost went to the game. A friend of mine.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go to the game.
I very much considered it. I've got a wedding this weekend, family wedding that we're traveling to, and we're spending a decent chunk on that. So I was like, could go. Almost. I had a friend that was like, "Hey, is Messi going to play?" And I was like, I think he's going to. It was like Monday or Sunday. I can't remember when he asked. He was like, "Oh, well, I just bought a whole bunch of tickets on the field level seats, and I'm gonna flip them." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea."
No, you're not.
Luckily, when it started to get a little bit uncertain, he was able to I think make it a little bit of money, maybe break even.
You were probably okay until Garber got on the mic this afternoon and said he won't play, and then prices just absolutely plummeted.
Oh, they tanked. Yeah, but he sold them yesterday, so he was like, "Whew, glad I sold them before." But yeah, it was interesting. I don't blame Messi at all.
I've made my fair share of flipping Messi tickets. I get it. I understand. But yeah, like you got to be paying attention because as soon as he's announced out for whatever game,
yeah,
I mean, those tickets just absolutely crater.
Absolutely. Yeah. We were looking at it, but I don't blame him at all. I don't blame Messi one bit. They're making moves that they still want to.
They're not even going to suspend him. Like, you're supposed to get suspended if you opt out after being chosen for the All-Star game. Like, if you opt out to play. Yeah. Alba is injured, so like he's not facing any disciplinary action. Messi just said, "No, I'm not playing." So you're supposed to be suspended, but like Garber even then really beat around that bush at the press conference where he was like, "Listen, man, he's played a lot of games, yada yada yada."
Yep.
And so I don't know that he gets suspended. So yeah, I mean, it's Messi's league, man. Like, when you're getting paid $40 million a year, you can do what you want.
Yeah, 40 million on paper as far as what we're seeing, but yeah, I mean they are way too desperate for views, especially with how the Apple TV deal is going to have Messi sit out against Cincinnati, because that's a huge game. So
I'm not sure he starts though. You've got this is the thing. Like, this is what I was looking at when I was looking at these games. I think you see decent rotation on Saturday for these league games because of all the teams, at least the teams who are playing in Leagues Cup, because Leagues Cup kicks off Wednesday. You've already had a busy schedule up until this point, the past 2 weeks or so, and now you've got like an actual tournament that you want to win starting on Wednesday. I could see guys getting rotated and rested. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Messi doesn't start, because I mean he's played 16, 17 games in a row or something like that. Like, it's just pretty ridiculous. And so it wouldn't shock me if he did not start against Cincy.
Okay, that's fair. It's going to be interesting. We kind of chit-chatted about Leagues Cup after the show last week, and it's going to be interesting to see what the approach is, right? Because the first year it was new and shiny. Everybody was interested. Last year, a little bit less so, and it made for some kind of funky results. So it'll be interesting to see how.
Well, I still think that was more on the League MX side.
That's true.
Than
That's
the
true.
MLS side. So
That's a good point. All right. Well, welcome in the chat, everybody. As always, if you have any questions, just throw them in there, and we'll do our best to respond. But we will go ahead and jump into it. Here we go. Show picks, and we are starting with Houston Dynamo hosting the Galaxy.
So yeah, for this one, we're going to take LA Galaxy double chance or the plus 0.5 spread at around minus 130 as they travel to Houston. Galaxy are the best of the worst teams in the league. Their expected points so far up to this point of the season is just under 30. That would actually put them in the playoff hunt in the West. The West is super weak, by the way. But they've only managed 16 points. So I would expect some regression to come their way here. Like I said, this team is too talented to be this bad, off to an absolutely horrific start. But I just said they got 16 points on the season so far. 8 of those points have come in the last 5 matches. So like we are clearly on the upswing here for the Galaxy. And so I'm just going to target them against weaker sides when we get good lines like this, like we have at Houston. The Dynamo have only won 4 of their 13 home games. And the Galaxy certainly have the attack to get something in Houston. It's looking like low 80s, so heat isn't a concern for me here or anything like that. So, yeah, I think this is a spot where Galaxy continue to pick up points, maybe just a draw. But with a double chance here being playable for Galaxy, this is a good spot to keep them and that momentum continuing, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind it here. We talked about Galaxy last week, or sorry, that would have been a couple of weeks ago. We had Galaxy money line in a parlay against DC United. Talked about how they are definitely on the upswing. A couple of things I like about the Galaxy right now is that I feel like they have found their 9 in Nascimento. Young Brazilian, 21-year-old Brazilian, seems to be kind of solidified in that role up top, and that's allowed Paintsil and Peck to really do their thing out wide. So nobody's really playing out of position. They're finally healthier because it's been a turbulent year, to say the least, for the Galaxy. And I do think they're definitely on the upswing. They look a lot closer to the kind of team they were last year. Obviously, they're still missing some pieces that they had last year, but they look a lot closer to that style of team where they're like, let's score some damn goals. Houston, on the other side of this, right? Didn't mention this, but Ezekiel Ponce left the game in the 36th minute last game.
He's questionable.
Yeah.
Quiones is still questionable. I don't expect to see him. Anali cannot stay starting regularly, and that's somebody else they need to start. So they're being careful with him. So yeah, the Houston attack is just all question marks right now.
Yeah, it's already, I mean, pretty as is, and then you're missing some pieces. Little more part of this handicap that's interesting. Look ahead games, right, for Leagues Cup. LA Galaxy's got Tijuana. Much more kind of like, okay, a game at home, we might be able to take care of business. Although Tijuana's got some talent in the attack, but not to go off on that tangent. Houston's got the much bigger look ahead game. They've got Tigres, and they've got to play at NRG, the big stadium in town. So you talk about a look ahead game, that would be the bigger look ahead game if there was one, right? Hard not to be interested in that game if you're Houston coach or player, because Tigres is, one of the most popular teams in the state of Texas, being that they're, much closer to the border than a lot of the other MX teams. But
I don't mind that. I don't mind that point. I grabbed the Friday. So both my plays are Friday games because I like that extra day of rest going into the tournament into Wednesday. as opposed to playing on Saturday and the shorter turnaround. So I expect everyone on Friday to roll out the strongest 11s they can, like normal. That is a good point about who you play Wednesday with Houston. Yeah, that's their biggest game of Leagues Cup right there already coming up on Wednesday. So I like that. I like that point as well.
Cool. All right. There's our first one. And next game, DC United hosting Austin. What am I doing? What am I doing? Somebody take the mouse away from me. I don't know. What am I doing here? I'm breaking my rule. I'm betting on games that involve Austin. So let's just get into it, damn it. DC United and Austin, both teams to score at a -137. So I said it last week when Brandon Vasquez out for the year, big time bad news, knee injury, right? Tried to bet Austin against the Revolution. They created almost 2 expected goals, 5 big chances. Obviously, they missed all 5 because that game ended at 0-0. And then Austin, I didn't bet them against Galaxy. They go on the road, create pretty well on the road against Galaxy, and they win 2-1 on the road. I said it when Vasquez got hurt. I told you, I said, I hate to see anybody get hurt, but I like that Ozuni is the focal point now. Like I like that it's all to him now. He's the guy. You don't try to put them both out there together. You don't try to do one. So I like it. And Ozuni scores a goal against Galaxy. Looked good. You can let the pacey wingers be pacey wingers, which is what this team has needed for a minute, right? I'm not in love with Austin by any means this year. I still think personnel change at a lot of areas is needed, and I think we blew some of the DP signings. But with this game specifically, I think Austin gets on the board on the road, and DC's got Benteke back, and they're at home, and I think it's a fairly open game. But 1-1 wouldn't shock me, right? Because Austin is a little bit weird once they score a goal. Nico likes to try to sit on things, so I like both teams to score. Trying to avoid going like 0-5 betting on Austin this year.
This is bold, man. This is bold.
Beetle in the chat. He knows.
Yeah, that's all I'll say is this is bold, dude. Like I get where you're coming from. If the way I look at DC, if I'm ever on them and think that they'll score, it's just worth it to take Benteke props. Like if he's plus money to score a goal, as opposed to like anything else this team does, because that attack focuses completely around him, right? Even in a down year, technically, where he's been getting injured more and stuff, like he's still the one who's going to score the goals. I think he's plus 120, plus 130 to score here. So if you think DC scores, I like just taking Benteke for the plus money. Yeah, Austin has the worst both teams to score percentage in the league. Like so you got to pick your spots, but at the same time, that's part of the reason why this is even playable. Like if you look at both teams to score through most of this weekend's games, none of them are playable straight. Like it's too much juice. But yeah, I'm burned on Austin. I took Austin to score a few weeks ago. They couldn't do it. So yeah, I don't like Austin either. I don't know why you're doing this, but yeah, man. I mean, like shoot your shots. Like I get it. Like this you love to hold your nose ones, and this is right up there with the worst stinkers of the stinkers.
Yeah, the only guy I've ever met that's a legit handicapper, not somebody that just sucks and they don't, somebody that's a legit handicapper that likes to hold your nose ones better than I do, is probably HU. He goes looking for him. So I'm not quite on his level yet with the hold your nose ones, but this one, we'll see, I guess. I do like it though. In all honesty, I like this player. I wouldn't be.
I mean, no, we put our favorite looks on the show. Like we looked at the whole slate, and the ones we like the most make it here. So like, yeah, you clearly like it. Just probably best to just play this and not watch the game.
Well, it's Austin, so I have to watch the game. But
I mean, just in general, like if you're, if you've been cashing with us on the show, yeah, there's plenty of other games to watch this weekend.
that's a good point. There's some good ones, and I'll use that as a segue into our next one because this is going to be one of the better games on the slate.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. This is only my second play of the show. I only got 2 this week. It's actually my least favorite slate of the season so far. Overall, bunch of external circumstances with that. Not just that they're all bad matchups, but we do have a good one here with San Diego hosting Nashville. And so we're going to do both teams to score plus over 2.5 at a very playable -110 here. We've got one of the top home attacks versus one of the better road attacks in this matchup. And so I just think it sets up for a great both teams to score plus over 2.5 price, where Nashville both teams to score is hitting at 64% on the road this season. Nashville's only failed to score in 2 away games all year. They've also only had 2 clean sheets on the road this season. So I definitely think Nashville's going to challenge San Diego and even take the game to them a little bit, forcing SDFC to need to score multiple goals to potentially take all 3 points at home. San Diego's been great at home all season, but they haven't hosted too many teams like Nashville. And so I think this one could be in for goals here. I'm not worried about anyone playing in the All-Star game tonight not starting on the weekend. I don't really think that's a concern. You're going to see most guys go 30, 45 minutes tops in a game that no one's really trying super hard in. So I expect all the starters in for this one. And yeah, I think this one could have goals all over it, maybe even a 2-2, 3-2 type game.
Yeah, this was one I had circled for sure. I actually had the same look written down, and it's one of those where I have 3 or 4 I'm looking at. If you're on one, then I'll just kind of pivot and cover another game. But I'll probably be on this as well. I don't. By the way, Sam Surge scored for the MLS All-Star. So, do we get to count that towards the Golden Boot, or
it does not count, unfortunately.
Oh man,
Damn. It's why I also want the Messi suspension to happen. Just suspend him any game. Pick a game and suspend him. I need Messi to play less.
And maybe if they get some help in there, then he'll just rack up the assists instead of scoring a brace every game. But yeah, I like this one. Nashville attack has been one of the best attacks in the league, just in general. And then on the road, it really hasn't slowed down much, like you said. Great both teams to score percentage on the road. San Diego, they've had some absolute goal fest this year, and this is also this is a Friday night game. So I know we don't love the matchups necessarily. It's not our favorite weekend of the MLS calendar, but I am a fan of like multiple games on Friday. It just gives you. It's so hard to watch all the games on Saturday. So I like a stagger. I like spreading the games out a little bit. Just as a fan and a viewer, I've always kind of preferred it that way. But yeah, this game should be a lot of fun. I don't have too much else to add, so I'll just jump into the last one. All right, last game is going to be a combo play for me. Garrett usually takes this approach, but I'm taking a play out of the old playbook and running one myself here. So looking at the first game on this, St. Louis City hosting Minnesota United. This is a Saturday game. I like the under in general on this game, but I'm going to use the under 3.5 as a parlay piece. St. Louis City, their attack has improved since the coaching change, but I just think this game, I think Minnesota is a sneaky team to back in the right situations for unders. Their coach, Eric Ramsey, I really noticed it. I think it was a U.S. Open Cup game, and then the game after the U.S. Open Cup. He likes to be conservative. He does not hesitate to, if they're on the road and the game's a draw, I don't see him go for wins very often. I've seen him take forwards out, put defenders in, and try to seal a draw on the road. They're obviously it's a very talented attack. Like, don't get me wrong, but just the way he approaches the game, sometimes it's a little bit surprising how conservative I've seen him be at times this year. That hasn't kept them from like scoring goals on the road necessarily, but I do think that's kind of how he's been playing it. As far as the few times I've seen him do it a few times, anyways. But yeah, then St. Louis City. I think this is a game right before Leagues Cup. Obviously, they're off of a 3-0 loss on the road back at home. Haven't had a great season so far. I just have under vibes on this one. I mean, if it was 2-1, I'm not stunned, but we're still good on our under 3.5. And the second half of this is simple. Vancouver money line. It's going to be the late game on Saturday night. Kansas City, they are what they are. Not great, right? I don't think Vancouver will have any issues with them. This will be Vancouver's first home game since June 25th. So it's been almost a month since they've had a home game. So I think they'll be eager to get a win in the book here and move on to the break. And yeah, pretty simple. Plus 125, and that's what I'm rocking.
The under 3.5 in St. Louis, I like it. The numbers like it. I think you've only gotten over that total in like 25% of St. Louis home games. Right around 33%, I think, of Minnesota road games. So let's be honest, like I would expect those percentages to be there. Like a lot of games aren't getting over that 3.5 mark with these teams usually. I also like that Pereira is suspended for Minnesota, their chief creator. So that definitely hurts that attack as well. So I get the under there. It makes sense. I wish I was in a spot to fade Vancouver this weekend. I want to keep fading this team. They just lost their best center back to the season, season-ending injury. So the injuries just keep piling up for this club. They haven't been great since CONCACAF Champions Cup ended, but yet they're still hanging out there in like the number 2 spot in the West. I just can't bring myself to fade them here with Sporting KC. I thought about both teams to score potentially, but it's like minus 160. That's not the kind of juice I want to lay with a bad team like Kansas City. So no, I think Vancouver gets the win here. I was just trying to find some value in there. Like I don't want minus 200, right? That money line by itself. So I like what you've done here to give yourself a little more value, create some space to be profitable here. So I like this play a lot, actually. I do.
Cool. Sweet. All right, so that was four show picks. Let me pull something up real quick. Let me go here to X. I'll see if I can share my screen. Would be big, fairly big news. So let me just pull it up and kind of get your response here. Let's see if I can share my screen here. StreamYard, the company that I used to stream this on, kind of changed their like setup, so I'm still getting used to it. All right. All right. Can you see my Twitter feed?
Yeah.
All right. Where is this tweet? All right. Here we go. Here is the tweet I am interested in. So, from Tom Bogert, sources confirm the Scoop LAFC is officially in talks to sign Son from Tottenham. Early talks, club pushing for the summer. He's 33. Spurs legend, would be a huge addition. Great move, okay move, bad move. What do you think if this happens? And do you see it happening?
We mentioned this back right around when July started, because that's when news of this started to break, was that there's a chance LAFC bring in Son. And I think it's good. I think it needs to be on West Coast. You go to West Coast, you definitely tap into the Asian population there. I think that's only good for MLS, only good for soccer, and good for LAFC. At 33, obviously, he's not the Son that like we have watched for years and like really enjoyed. Um, I think I told you. I think if he comes, he's probably the 9. I don't think you're playing him out on the wing.
Yeah.
Which means Ordaz goes back out to the wing because DeRozan, the loanee, they actually LAFC extended his loan by 1 day so he could play on Friday, and then his loan's done, and he goes back to where is it, Club America? So
Yeah.
So they are trying to bring somebody in. They would have a DP spot open. I obviously think Son would have to be a DP to come. I think you're looking at LAFC's new 9 if they bring him in. I don't think he's playing out on the wing anymore, which I don't know if that helps or hinders Ordaz. Like Ordaz can do both. He showed he can do both. I don't know. I'm not convinced that which one he's better at, but this would pigeonhole him onto the wing for sure. I think it's fine. It doesn't blow me away. It's not like I'm seeing X like really talk about how this would be like a monumental signing, and that's just I don't feel that way about it. Like I like Son as a player. It's just not monumental to me. It's just your typical DP signing. Like and at 33, this is like an MLS 1.5 DP signing, right? Like you're not making a big splash with somebody who's going to take over the league. Son's going to come in and do work and score you some goals. And that's that. Like this is your typical DP signing from MLS. Like it doesn't wow me like that. But I like it. Like would I like to have Son in MLS? Sure.
And then the other part of this, right, is if he's in, is Boanga gone necessarily, or could Boanga stay and then he's the 9?
No, Boanga stays out on the wing. Like I said, this is the Son's the 9. Like you have to play him at the 9 because I don't think the legs are there anymore in an athletic league to stay on the wing. Like you even saw it at Spurs. Like he started playing the 9 more and more the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
In part because they didn't have a 9, but also that's just where he fit better for that team. I think it's going to be copy paste here for LAFC. I don't know, man. Boanga's name keeps getting brought up, whether it's Mexico, whether it's back to France. I still think there's a chance he leaves this summer, sure, but I don't think that has anything to do with this. Like when DeRozan's loan ends, they have an open DP spot.
Yeah.
So they can bring in Son as a DP, no problems.
Yeah. If you can keep Boanga and have, Martinez and the other kid you just mentioned, younger guy, the El Salvadorian kid, Ordaz. Yeah, you can have those. I mean, you got a pretty stout attack at that point.
You do, so. But I will say, if you can get 11, 12 million for Boanga, you absolutely pull that trigger. Like, there's no way you turn down that deal. Dude's going to be 31.
Yeah.
I think it's as soon-ish. And so, no, you absolutely take that money and run.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Cool. All righty, folks. Well, 4 picks. Great results on our last episode, so we'll look to keep that going. Please like the video. Please share the video. Follow us at MLSLIVE Podcast on the Twitter or on X, whatever it's called nowadays. And that's it, folks. Anything, Garrett?
Yeah, make sure you're following us. I'm sure we'll have ads this weekend. Most of the Saturday games, I'm just going to wait for the 11s. Like I'm not firing anything too early. There's always live looks, of course, and stuff on Friday once those games kick off. So yeah, we'll both probably definitely have some additions to come. So make sure you're following us with those notifications on if you want to get those. Outside of that, thanks as always for your support and tuning in. We absolutely love it. And best of luck to wherever your action is this weekend.
See you next time, guys.